Q103, Albany's rock station. It is Styles, and we are joined on the phone right now by Brian Head Welsh of the band Korn, who is rather busy today because, of course, it is the announcement of Mayhem 2014 from Rockstar Energy Drink with themselves and Avenged Sevenfold, July 23rd, the Saratoga Performing Arts Center. Thanks for taking the time to be on the air with us, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. We're stoked to do this tour. We just did a small tour in Australia with Avenged Sevenfold and a bunch of other bands, so we're stoked, man, to hit this summer.
So you guys are rather known to each other. You guys know each other pretty well backstage and so forth.
Yeah, I taught all those guitar players how to play and everything, so it's like we go back. I'm just joking. Those guys are shredders, man. They make me feel like I'm like a 14-year-old kid trying to learn how to play, you know?
Well, that's cool. So do you actually, when you're out on these tours, like in the summer festivals or even just an average night tour where it's like you and 3 or 4 other bands, do you get the chance to really sit down and watch the bands perform live, or are you kind of just consumed with everything else going on?
Well, okay, flashback like 10 years ago, I was in my tour bus, like, snorting lines and stuff. I turned my life around, so now that I'm back in Korn, I'm like, dude, any chance I get to see a good band, I'm like right there on the stage. So, yeah, I totally enjoy it. It's like it's new to me again, you know, and it's refreshing. And I like to watch bands constantly. Except Avenged, like you got to wear earplugs because they're always blowing up stuff on stage, and so like you can damage your ears if you're watching them on the side of the stage.
I'm about to say they got a lot of pyro. It seems no matter every time I've seen them, there's always at least several explosions throughout the set.
Yeah, they love fire and explosions, which is very cool in rock music, but protect your ears.
Now, I have a question for you, because obviously with Mayhem Fest, Ice-T and his band Body Count's going to be performing on this. How do you feel about that? Because I thought it was interesting that, A, they're back, and B, they're on this tour. And I mean that in a good way, though.
Yeah, you totally just read my mind, because it's like, I was like, what? Where, isn't that guy like on Law and Order or something like that?
Right.
You know, it's like, and we used to play with them, like we did some festivals back in the day, you know, with Ice-T, and he's cool. Like we've all met him, hung out with him, and it's really cool. But it came out of left field. I was like, I thought that was like gone, and I think it's a really like a fresh like addition to the tour. You know, just to see this guy, you know, come out, you know, and rock again. It's pretty cool.
So I'm assuming the first couple of dates you're going to find your way over to that stage and checking them out.
Totally. And then another one I just saw on the list, I didn't know they're going to be there, is Immure.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, is that how you say it? I don't know. But, yeah, they're really, really heavy. And you know, I met a couple of those guys a few years back. But there's a lot of bands on this tour that I want to check out, definitely.
Now, are you know, outside of being in Korn and when you're on stage, when you're sitting back, what kind of music do you listen to? Are you a heavy metal fan, or do you like other types of stuff to listen to when you're just chilling down, relaxing?
Yeah, I like all kinds of stuff. I'll just I'll pull it up on my phone right now. I got hip hop. I got all like Breaking Benjamin, Chevelle, Evanescence. I like, as I was saying, Younger. I like. So it's like I got some R&B stuff on there. So it's just a mix of stuff. I just, you know, the only thing I don't really listen to is like country.
Hey, that makes 2 of us then. I don't quite understand the whole tractor is sexy thing, but.
And it's just like, every song sounds the same. They probably say that about metal. Every song has the same ingredients and everything. And like you know what it is? It's the vocalists. They all sound the same. It's crazy.
The vocals are what kills you on that?
Yeah, they're not bad. It's just everybody sounds exactly the same. They got their little, you know, their little twang thing going on, and it's like, who is this? It sounds like the guy 10 minutes ago.
Talking with Brian Head Welsh of Korn, July 23rd, Saratoga Performing Arts Center, Mayhem Fest, which is this year's Q-Eruption. I know you're talking about singers. If you don't mind, I actually want to ask you real quick, because I was reading about your other band, Love and Death, which, of course, you're the frontman of. I was reading that you actually had some self-conscious issues when you were transforming over into the role of lead singer. A, is that true? And B, how did you overcome that?
Yeah, it's very true. And it was like, you know, I always was in awe of great vocalists, whether it's rock or just R&B or just, you know, people that can hit those high notes. I just was like, how do they do that? And so when I left Korn, I was like, I want to do something new. I'm gonna just train myself how to do this, because I got a good ear, and you know, you can put some effects on your voice and not sound like horrible. You know, if you're not a regular singer, so I thought I'd go for it. And then when I did it, I was like, okay, cool. And I hit the road, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't hit these notes live. It's like, so I was very self-conscious. And then I was always drunk and on stage with Korn, so I was like sober out there in the front, like running the show, and I'm like, oh, this is like, why'd I do this? That type of thing. But, you know, I found out, like, if you're afraid, if you're anxious to do something, then just keep doing it, and that'll all melt away. So I just kept doing it, no matter how bad or weird I felt. And, yeah, I got used to it.
Well, cool, man. Love and Death. Love the band, by the way. What's going to be next for them in that regard? Or are you just solely concentrating on Korn at this point?
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate the plug. But, yeah, it's kind of, you know, the album's been out for a while, and we've been playing on some shows with Korn and did a couple tours. So we're thinking about, we're writing actually to get another album out. I just don't know how much, because like Korn is like a touring machine, and it's like, if I ever want to break, like I won't be able to tour with Love and Death. So it's just, we're just gonna see how it goes. I would like to do both. I just want to see how that's going to be done, you know. But we're doing another album for sure.
Cool, man. Well, you know, 2 years ago, Carolina Rebellion, you reunited with Korn. Since then, immense success for you. You know, top 10 debut of the new album, 2 chart-topping singles. Congratulations in that. But for you, kind of being thrusted back into the spotlight of being with Korn, how's that been for you?
It's really awesome because I didn't see it coming. I signed a deal with Love and Death, and I was hitting the road, and they asked me to, you know, the big thing was I reconciled with them as friends. And so we were just talking, you know, and then they asked me to come back. I was like, oh, man, I'd have to say no because I just signed this record deal. I got to go. And then once I just kept talking to them, and they were like, bring your band on tour. And I was like, whoa, you know, the record label for Love and Death would probably really like that. You know, bigger shows and everything. So, yeah, we just worked it out, and you know, the rest is history. Here we are today.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Well, congratulations once again on all the success there with that. Looking forward to July 23rd, Saratoga Performing Arts Center for Mayhem Fest with yourself and Avenged Sevenfold. Just to wrap things up, you were actually here in the capital region of upstate New York a couple months back doing your public speaking tour. How's that for you, Ben, in the sense of talking about your addictions, overcoming them, and what's the experience like for you when you see that your story, it reaches out, it touches, and it helps someone?
Dude, that's better than getting a big paycheck from, like, music, you know, because, you know, music does pay well, but, like, hearing someone come up to me, like, I remember at that place, it was like this girl came up to me, and she was just like, I'm going to a drug rehab tomorrow because thank you. She was just like, thank you. And it's like, that means more to me than anything because, you know what I mean? Like, somebody could OD. Like, what if someone would have died, like, a couple weeks later, and just me sharing my story helped them? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, it's so rewarding to do that. That's why I do it as much as I can. You know, I speak as much as I can.
No, definitely rewarding, man. It's got to be such a positive feeling for yourself, and just seeing that, you know, like you said, that something your story can help with somebody, and that girl hope to God, you know, she went and she got that rehab, and she's doing much better now.
Totally, yeah. And I just believe in that. It's like there's like dozens and dozens, you know, hopefully hundreds that are just, it's like a fire that's spreading, you know, and people can just hear the story. Because, you know, the media with iPhones and computers and all that, a story can spread like wildfire, you know. So I'm hoping to God that happens because this generation got pretty jacked up, you know.
Yeah. So. Now, with you have a daughter, correct?
Yeah.
Now, for you, as raising them, are you raising them rock fans, or are you raising them just like whatever they want?
Oh, dude, she went to the Bieber stage. She went through all that crap, and then all of a sudden she listened to, like, who was it? It was like Blink-182 mixed with like bands like Chevelle and all this stuff, and she was like, later Bieber, and she was hooked. She was on it, and so now she loves rock music, but she also she'll get into some Katy Perry too. She's 15, and you know, but so she's like, that's what I like about her. She likes all kinds of music. You know, she's not like closed-minded, so she's well-rounded and respects all types of music except the Bieber stuff's over. So that's good.
How does she feel about her dad's music? Is she a big fan?
Yeah, she is. It's crazy because usually like dads are lame, no matter what you do. So like she's like on the side of the stage when she comes out and just rocking, and she wants to do music too. So it's really cool.
Are you teaching her how to play, or does she have like a different instrument she wants to go with?
It's hard for me and her because she'll I was never the patient teacher with music, so
right.
Like she gets frustrated, and so she has to she gets lessons from someone else, and she actually goes to a boarding school, so they got a music program there, and they're all like she's on it every day, so she's totally learning.
Cool. Well, Brian, Head Welsh, man, thank you so much for joining us today, man. I look forward to talking to you July 23rd, Saratoga Performing Arts Center for Mayhem Fest, along with Avenged Sevenfold. Tickets on sale this Friday morning at 10 a.m. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the time. It was great chatting with you.
You too, man. Thanks. We look forward to coming through.